Okay, so this is the second or third time I've done this at this point. We've had some recording issues. Windows Movie Maker isn't really cooperating with me at the moment, but so I wanted to run a test of these lavalier mics. I ordered one of them. It was $40 on Amazon, free shipping. But I wanted you guys to have a sample of what this was like. So I'm not on that right now. What I'm on right now is a $40 Shure XM8500, I believe. I think a 3-pack of these was $120. So right about at the same price point. Not that I'm saying we should use these. I just wanted to have this as a baseline. This is what I use for my podcast for years. I think it works fairly well. It does pick up anything it's attached to, so you got to use a boom arm or something like that. It fades out fairly quickly if you get too far back from it. There we go. If you get too far back from it, it does also have a fairly narrow field. So like if I look left or if I look right, that definitely fades out fairly quickly. But this is just kind of a baseline. So I'm going to leave the settings on the board the same. I've got the main slider at 0. I've got the volume level is at 50%. I've got both gains set at 50. I've adjusted the bass and treble on the lavalier a little bit, but this should be a fairly accurate test. So I'm going to drop out the desktop mic here, and I'm going to cut in the lavalier, and I'm going to do that at about 30% because at 50% it's pretty loud. So let's try that. So there's the lavalier. So I got to cut my headphones down a little bit. So almost immediately you should be able to hear it's a much more open microphone. You can hear a lot more of the room noise. I think it might be a fan, might be the computer. You probably hear the TVs on in the other room. This picks up a lot more of the open air stuff. It's just a less focused microphone. You can see it here. I just have it clipped to my shirt. It's pretty comfortable. I don't know that it's really there. It came with about 5-6 feet of cord. So we will need XLR extensions for it to feed them into the main board, but apparently those are pretty cheap, so it shouldn't be a big issue. These type of single microphones are great if we're going to sit at a table and we're going to talk into them, which is fine. But if we're going to do a setup like we had at Diamondback where we're sitting on the couch, I think the lavalier is the way to go. I think it's cool because you can move around, you can do whatever you want, you can look left and talk to somebody, you look right, and it just picks up you. I did run some kind of limited testing. I think my one concern is because it's so open, running 4 of them simultaneously right next to one another. What kind of echo effects that might have. I try to do some kind of low-key testing, but it's hard to do it without more than one. But for the podcast anyway, for Last Call, I really like it. I think it allows you to, I think you need to set for getting loud ahead of time. But I think it also allows you to get, kind of quiet, kind of not everything needs to be at an 11. And you can be really conversational and talk to one another, not worry about where the microphone is, and the people on the edges won't be really dim. And at $40, free shipping, I think it's a pretty good thing. So this is a test. So we'll go back here just a minute so you can kind of see the difference. Now, keep in mind, I'm in a basically wooden room. There's no carpet here. I'm on a hardwood floor, so there's a lot of echoing, but you can't really, tell. I have a hard time mitigating that. I can throw a sweater over my head like I did earlier, but that's weird. I'm not going to do that on camera. So just again for comparison, so I'm going to drop out the lavalier. So we're back on the desktop mic here. So that's the desktop at 50%. We'll go lavalier at 30 or at 50. Excuse me, lavalier at 50, lavalier at about 40, lavalier 25, just for comparison's sake. So that's it. I can run more tests. If you guys have something in mind, please let me know. Thanks.